Hello, it's Penny. I am joining you via Screencastify today to share kind of an overview of how I use Google Workspace as my primary tool for pretty much everything I do in my classroom. So I wanted to just kind of walk you through what I utilize each day and to kind of give you an idea of why I'm asking you to explore or dive deeper into Google Workspace during this class. One reason I do that is because Google is accessible to anyone. It's free for educators, it's free for students, and it's accessible on all devices. So, whether you have laptops or Chromebooks or iPads or Macs, you can access Google products on that device. So, like I said, this is something I use every single day. So, I'm going to just kind of walk you through some of the ways that I use that. First of all, I'm in my primary drive, and you can see it's a very busy place. I have way too much content in here. One of my goals for my summer break is to kind of prune some of these things out. One way I manage the content is by color coding the folders, and you can do that by going in and under organized, which is under my camera, you can do color coding. So that way, I can find things that are for the current school year are highlighted or coded in the same color. Now, one of the things that is really, really helpful is the collaborative elements of Google Workspace. So if I click on this shared with me, you can see documents that have been shared with me from my teammates, from people within my school, from our instructional coaches, our content area coaches, and from myself from my other Google accounts, because I have a personal Google Drive also. And sometimes when you download things in one drive, they pop up in the other and you have to share them over to transfer them. So that is the shared drive. That is very, very helpful. One other element that is extremely helpful is creating a shared drive. So you can see these are all shared drives that I have housed in my Google Workspace. We have a shared space for all of the math coaches share out content. That's what this JCS second grade math course is. Google Sites is actually a drive where I have worked with people in other schools for workshops and things, and we add things here to help with our web design for our Google Sites. Let me go back. But the main one that I use is this second grade Woodland. It's our team planning website. So I work on a 4-person team in second grade, and we work collaboratively. We plan collaboratively. And so having this resource is extremely helpful. I also have my administrators added to the drive. We have people that are helping with evaluations added, and the instructional coaches are added. So they can access this drive and they can look at the files within our drive and then provide input or share resources with us. Or look at our lesson plans, because I'm going to show you how I use Google Drive or Google Slides as my primary driver for planning. So this is the current or this previous school year folder, and it is divided by quarters, and then each teacher has a file that has particulars just for us. So like our standing procedures, my master schedule, some things that are specific to me. And then, like when I'm evaluated, sometimes I'll slide the slides that I use during the evaluation into this file so that it's easier for the evaluator to find that file. So going back to the main file, here's the beauty of using Google Slides and Google Drive. So let's click week 3. So within my team, I do all of the planning for ELA. So I create instructional slides. Whoop, there we go. I create instructional slides and everyone in my team can access them. So this really cuts down on the work because in second grade, we teach all content areas. So reading, writing, math, science, word study, all the things. So I embed the content. You can see there's links, external links to docs that give this external link kind of gives an overview of how we use the poetry, because this is a daily poem that we do, an overview of how we use that. I have my standards, and then I can include images, and this is the lesson plan. Now, it looks very basic, but that's because this is probably a pre-evaluation slide deck. My administrator is pretty flexible, so if she were to come in on the day that I was doing the Benjamin Franklin lesson, I can take this basic plan and beef it up enough to meet the elements of the team rubric. Although most of the elements of the team rubric are covered within the slide, within the lesson itself. Now I can, again, embed materials from my drive. So this is actually a PowerPoint presentation on biographies that I loaded into my drive, and then I have embedded that into my into my slide deck for the week. So I can click on this and it's going to hyperlink over and open that the PowerPoint presentation. Another great thing is I can embed a YouTube video directly in by copying the link and putting it in. And when you insert that video into Google Drive, you can edit it. So that way, I can, if there's only a portion of the video that I want to feature, then I can cut that and splice it within the video so that it doesn't show the entire video. I can also share these slides with my students so they can watch the video without having direct access to all the things that live on Google. Additionally, these are the tasks for the students. So once I've done my whole group instruction, I pop up the tasks for them to use. And as you can see, I use a lot of technology. So this is an online source for millions and hundreds of books, not millions, probably thousands of books that the students can go and listen to and read. BrainPop is a great platform. If you're not familiar with that, you might want to check it out. We use BrainPop Junior, but sometimes we do pull content from BrainPop, which would be BrainPop has content more appropriate for high school students. So again, I can share this with my colleagues. They can access all the links. They can make a copy. So let's say my coworker wants to personalize this. She can make a copy of the entire presentation without editing the version that is our master version. And we do that often. A lot of them even say biographies week 1 master slides. So that is extremely, extremely helpful. it has saved a lot of time because with blended learning, I was creating products in slides and docs and using that content for instruction and then creating a separate plan on paper. And then I was basically doing the work twice. So this helps just to be able to use one space for the planning and the instructional presentation. So that is extremely helpful. So I said that I plan all of the ELA for the week, and then my coworker, oh, sorry, clicked the wrong tab, plans the math slides. And then again, we can all access the same slides and work from the same slides. So same format. We use the same formatting for all of our content areas. So that way it's easy for the teachers to navigate. And we do create student decks. So let me type in student deck. Yes. So this is a deck that I would have assigned to my students in Google Classroom. And so all of these have hyperlinks. So once they open this document in Google Classroom, they can hyperlink into other tasks within our assignment for the day. So that is super helpful also. Just one more thing to show you before I switch to a different topic. If I go in, I call this, with my students, I call this the waffle. I'm really not sure what it's called because I always call it the waffle. You can see all of my different Google applications that are available in my workspace here. And I use Google Classroom as my LMS, or my learning management system. We have Canvas in our school system, and I do use that some more professionally than with my students because it's really, really hard for students to navigate Canvas. It's also why I am struggling with D2L in the beginning, because Google Classroom is so easy to navigate. So this is my class website, my class LMS, and you can go into the classwork and you can see everything I have assigned to them. Most of the things, there have been some things I have deleted, but all of the assignments for the entire year. You can grade within Google Classroom. In second grade in my school system, we do not do letter grades, so I do more of a portfolio assessment and use other types of data for that. We have to teach cursive in second grade, so this is really cool. Let me show you this example of why Google Slides is so beneficial for me professionally. So I have awful cursive handwriting, absolutely awful cursive handwriting. So a couple of years ago, when they put cursive handwriting back into the second grade standards, I had a teammate who has really nice cursive handwriting. So she recorded videos, instructional videos, and she recorded some of them within, actually, I think she recorded all of them within Canvas, which Canvas Studio, and then she shared that content. So this is her teaching the lesson. So she created the slides with her lessons embedded. Then I can assign these through Google Classroom to my students. And this is one of my stations for station rotation for the fourth quarter of the school year. And they practice cursive writing while I'm meeting with small groups, et cetera, et cetera. So that is really great. Another thing I'm going to point out up here, if you see create a quiz, this is a link to quizzes. So my school system has graciously paid for the premium content for us to use, and that way we can have it in our portal with privacy agreement access for all of the students. So if I click that, it's going to actually take me to quizzes, and it will create a quiz based on the content of my slides. So that's a really cool tool to have access to. One more thing that I would like to show you. I'm checking my list. One thing I want to show you is my Google site. So for my class homepage, I created a Google site, and when they log into their Chromebooks in the morning, they are taken to they can go to two places. They can go to my class website, or their student dashboard is how I refer to it in class, or they can go to our JC Schools portal. So the portal has all of the links that the teachers within the school system can use that have data security and privacy agreements included in those. Another great thing is I can put direct links to apps for other sites that I utilize. And I also use this as a way to communicate with my families. So at the beginning of the year, I create a parent portal that has important links that they may need access to. They have a copy of my classroom handbook available to them. Also, I post lots of photographs on here, and the parents absolutely love it. So this is actually a video of our end of the year celebration. So one thing that is essential about this website, though, is it is not published publicly. So only people with the link to the site can view it, and I can do that by going into anyone with the link. And actually, it's public, but it's restricted public. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So, yeah, it's restricted use for people that have the link. So that is another thing that I do with Google Workspace that is extremely helpful. Now, speaking of Google Sites, I do want to show you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this right now. I will circle back to it at a later time, but I have started working on a Google site for this class. So it's right here. I will be linking it to the course information section of our class D2L shell when it is completely finished. But I'm putting all of your Meet the Classroom designs on this page, or Meet the Teacher, sorry, I misspoke. And we'll be adding those as they are submitted. And then I am going to, within the pages, put resources. So, like if you are doing a Google Docs assignment and you need pointers, these are some resources specific to Google Docs. Then we have Google Forms, which we will be using for a couple of assignments in the future. And then I am also posting podcasts and blogs. 90% of, well, probably 80% of what I use as far as instructional technology comes from sources outside of my school and my system. So blogs, podcasts, Twitter, Xer, Twitter. So I use a lot of networking, professional networking, to get ideas for technology use. These will also you will have access to this outside of the class. So if you want to refer back to it when you start your school year, it will be accessible to you. So with all of that said, this is these are the reasons why I am really focusing a lot on the Google Workspace, because it's so versatile and so useful, and because of the collaborative elements within the Google Workspace. So I hope this has been helpful and insightful and given you some ideas of how I use technology instructionally, and of maybe you have an idea of something that you can try in the future also. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of the things that I've shared. Again, we will be exploring more things like Google Forms and Google Sites more in depth during the course of the course. So thank you for joining me. See you soon.